Welcome back to another video. It's the Warrior for God here. I know it's been a while since my last upload, but I'm trying to get back on the YouTube grind. I've been focusing more on the short format, but today I want to bring a question to you and hopefully give you the best way of how to answer it. Because a lot of people will try to attack the divinity of Christ and say that he himself never claimed to be God. And of course, from a Christian standpoint, that is a very ridiculous claim. But we have to be ready to actually give someone a good theological answer for when people raise this kind of question. Now, Satan likes to use this as a tool to try and make people think, well, Jesus Christ is not who he claims he was, because he never even claimed to be God. But we know, because of the truth of the gospel and from Jesus himself, that he did claim to be God. Now, today I just want to give you one example, and this is found in John chapter 8. And this is where the religious Pharisees and Jews were questioning Jesus and asking him, who really are you? Because you're casting out demons in the name of God and you're doing all these things, but we don't really know who you are. So starting from verse 54, Jesus says this: "If I honour myself, my honour is nothing. It is my Father who honours me, of whom you say that he is your God. Yet you have not known him, but I know him. And if I say I do not know him, I shall be a liar like you. But I do know him and keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad." To this the Jews replied, "You are not yet 50 years old, and you have seen Abraham." Jesus said to them, "Most assuredly I say to you, before Abraham was, I am." Now that is the key statement here. Jesus says, I am. And when we see that, we think, well, what does this really mean? Well, there is a parallel statement found in Exodus chapter 3 that says exactly the same thing. Let me turn to it now. This is when Moses received a revelation from God to go and take the captives free from Egypt. And Moses is like, well, how am I going to present this to the Israelites? How are they going to believe me? And God said to Moses in verse 14, "I am who I am." He said, "Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you." So a significant point to point out is both times the term I am is used. And we know from the Bible that the term I am can actually be used interchangeably with the word Yahweh, which was the holy and sacred name that the Jews gave to the one true God. So Jesus is using the term I am, and God also uses the term I am. These are both exclusive terms that are used to talk only of God. So when people say, did Jesus really claim to be God? I would ask you to go back and read what I just said and look at these parallel verses. So when Jesus uses this term I am, he's declaring his coexisting divinity with God the Father, because he is saying before Abraham even was, I am. If Jesus was just a mere prophet, as many people claim he was, how could he have been before Abraham was from time past? But of course, since God is not time-bound, this makes much sense as why Jesus addressed himself as I am, because he has always existed, eternally, because he is God. So this word and this term I am, Jesus is clearly using to declare his divine nature. And to sort of brush aside this statement is to completely ignore the truth of Scripture that is laid before you, as I've just shared. And I think the most amazing thing about these two parallels is both times the question arises because first Moses is asking, what should I say to the Israelites when I come to them to give them this news? And in the New Testament, Jesus is answering the Israelites when they ask him, who are you? So both times the question is being asked, who are you? And both times the answer is, I am. So I hope this video gave you some knowledge on this topic, and I pray that you can actually use this to share with someone if the question ever does come, so you can be prepared to give an answer. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll be back with more. God bless.